All right, we're here. Hi there. I'm Robin Thomas, and I'm the founder of Living Well Connections. And what I like to do is help individuals stop feeling powerless about their health by guiding them through ways to get started with healthy habits. I founded Living Well Connections as a community that supports, educates, and empowers us all to make healthy decisions toward a more balanced and fulfilling life. And today, I'm very excited to introduce you to our featured practitioner, Dr. Susan Sykes. Welcome, Susan.
Thank you, Robin. Well, I'm a doctor of chiropractic, and I've been doing this since Robin and I both had brown hair, and 33 years. And I've been a doctor of chiropractic, and the reason I'm into chiropractic was because I wanted to help people with their health, and I saw that as an avenue for helping people with their health. I had applied to medical school, and my idea was that I was going to go into practice with a girlfriend of mine who was studying chiropractic. But back in the early 80s, when I had applied, they were not interested in accepting students to medical school who were interested in helping people, who were that open-minded. I guess I was way ahead of my time in that. Been able to further my education and how to help people be healthy through all kinds of different ways of learning during the time that I've been a chiropractor. So it's really exciting because I do a special form of balancing chiropractic care. It's very gentle, along with instrument-assisted care called the Pro Adjuster 360 that measures the tension of the joints at each level of the spine and then corrects it through a direct line impulse at a specific frequency that changes.
Yeah, I love what you're doing.
Well, it's very
You're
exciting.
doing a lot of different modalities, and I'm wondering, has that kept your passion for helping your clients? Continuing to learn. I mean, how have you kept your passion all these years?
Well, it certainly has. Clients? Yes, having learning new things, new ways of helping people, but just helping people has been really helped keep me going over the years. It's so wonderful. Unlike most medical practitioners, they only get to see their patients when they're ailing. And I get to see my patients when they're doing better, because it's not a wham bam, thank you ma'am kind of thing. I work with them to get them not only out of pain, but functioning better in every way that they want. Not everybody is going to want to take it to the same level. But my approach to chiropractic care is, let's not just get you out of pain, but let's fix what's going on underneath all of this so that you can then have the best life possible. And that's one of the reasons. One of the things I'm going to talk about has to do with balance. Now, we would love to be able to say that chiropractic care in and of itself is enough to keep a person improve their balance and help keep them from falling. But it's not enough. Unfortunately, it's better than doing nothing, but it's not really enough. So one of the things that I'm embarking upon now, which is brand new, the instrumentation's been out a little over a year, is a stability analyzer and then balance trainer, because it's part of keeping people functional, doing what they want, as we get older, continuing to do what we want, and especially for the older population, keeping them in their homes. We were meant to be active and happy and not meant to be taking a bunch of drugs for things.
I had the privilege of visiting your office last week, and it was exciting to see these new programs you have in action. It looks like I could use some help too. Oh, now we're going to be going through in Living Well Connections. We're going to going through a lot more details about these programs that Dr. Sykes can offer. But I'd like to learn why you feel these new programs are making a huge difference in quality life for all ages. Because we talked about as people age, that's something that comes first to mind when we're talking about balance. But you were talking a lot about different ages and how they can use these.
Yes. Well, one of the things also about balance is interesting. We think about it in the older population. There's significant amount of research on balance and how having good balance improves things like athletic performance. In fact, balance is probably the number one indicator for athletic performance aside from talent. And if you think about it, all sports require shifting your weight from one foot to the other, being able to maybe change directions if a person's a football player or something like that, to change directions easily, which requires the same neurological, muscular path and other pathways that are associated with balance. It helps them to do that more easily. Plus, something like golf. You're shifting from one foot to the other when you're driving the ball off the tee. And that requires a certain amount of balance as well as flexibility. So we see that the balance work can help athletes with their performance. And also having a better balance score has been shown to reduce risk of concussions in athletes, which is pretty significant find. So, and it may be because then their body responds better and they're able to keep from falling and hitting their head, which is a big problem with falls. It's the biggest problem with falls is hitting the head.
Oh, that's true. Or breaking a hip.
I have the statistic right in front of me, but the number one cause of nursing home admissions in the elderly is falls, whether it's breaking something. And it may not be a hip, but that's quite common. It could be a shoulder, something else. And the thing is, when an older person falls like that, in fact, falls are the number one cause of emergency room visits across the board. Falls. Now, if a person is an older person and they have a fall, usually it takes a lot more for them to recover than a younger person, and it irrevocably changes their life and the family's life as well, at least for time being and sometimes forever.
One of the other things I was very interested in, we all kind of expect chiropractors to do an assessment on balance, and doctors do too. But what you're able to do is really significantly help improve it, and not only improve balance, but the therapies looked fun. The things they did to improve it, that really surprised me. You showed me a couple of the different things. They look like games, and I know that depending on the age, different ones would attract different people. But that was incredible to see.
Yes. Well, there's a couple of things. First of all, most chiropractors and most medical doctors do not assess balance. In fact, most doctors, medical doctors, are required when you're a certain age to ask you if you've fallen. And that's the sum total of the assessment of balance. Okay. Which, that's in the South, we call it closing the gate after the cows are out. So I'm here to close the gate before the cows are out. And what I have is a way of you can do a balance screen on your own. It's a particular test where you stand on two legs and then one leg, eyes open, eyes closed. And we'll be posting at some point a way that you can do that, a link to a website that instructs you how to do that. The other thing is that the equipment I have that Robin was talking about has a plate that you stand on that measures where you are in space 100 times a second. To me, which is almost inconceivable, not having grown up with, in the technological world. And it gives us a measure. There's certain norms, and it gives us a measure of your balance. And we have you do certain things, eyes open, eyes closed, one foot, the other foot, but then also going around in a circle, which helps to see how does your body respond if you were to catch your toe on something. Would you be able to catch yourself and stay upright, or would you hit the ground? And then the equipment it's all computerized where you use your body to play certain games. And what it's doing is it's training the different areas that are involved in balance, which have to do, of course, we know visual. With your eyes open, you're always going to balance better with your eyes closed, hearing, and then all aspects of the musculoskeletal and nervous system are trained by playing the games and some other therapies that we do when you're in the office. Total of 15 minutes for everything. Yes, there's some programs or some therapies within the program that work with cognition, because not only are you balancing, but then you're also having to think while you're balancing in order to improve the score, to get points, so to speak, on the game, which helps with the connections between with the brain and the body, and then also within the brain itself. And the other thing about balance, if you have better balance, if a person has poor balance and they've fallen, it just takes one fall for an older person to restrict their activity. One fall. So now you have somebody who maybe isn't going to go out and walk or do the different things that they need to do. Certainly not going to take a pickleball at the last minute after they've fallen, thinking that's going to help them. They're going to restrict their activity. How important activity is for brain health. So it's really important for people to remain active so that they can then, improve the circulation to the brain and keep the brain health good. Staying in the home, keeping the brain good, not having dementia, staying in the home by not falling and having something happen that makes it so you need care, full-time care.
Susan, we have a couple of questions.
So I see Facebook users asking, what are your thoughts on get up and go tests? And I must admit, I have no idea what that is. Okay.
I know what that is. We
actually,
when I worked in the hospital, they would use that, and they use that sometimes in my mother's facility. Basically, you're in a regular chair, and the user can tell me if I'm wrong. They have you seated in just a regular straight chair, and they time you about how long it takes for you to get up. And then sometimes they had people walking, you'd get up from the chair and they'd walk a certain distance around maybe another chair is where I've seen it, and then come back. And it was just that ability, to use the muscles to just get out of a chair. And as people age, I know you've seen it, people having trouble getting up out of a chair.
This is something I just look at. I didn't quite hear everything. I can't hear everything for some reason. The connection isn't very good, but it's something I'm going to have to look at. And certainly, any kind you could do on your own is useful. The problem is that nobody's doing it, or not nobody, but not a lot of people are doing it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true. That's
okay.
True.
People are.
We're going to have. We're going to have,
but they're not doing any kind of at-home test to assess.
They're not doing home tests to assess. I think we need to spread the word about this and let people know. And one of the things we're going to do in Living Well Connections this week is answer everyone's questions.
Absolutely.
If you're here watching it, a recording, because that happens a lot, please reach out with questions, and Dr. Sykes will be able to answer any questions you have. Who do you work with?
Well, I work with open-minded people who, want to have the best quality of life that they can have. So, and part of the thing is now balance. I have a 12-year-old who comes to my office, a big 12-year-old, but we've been working on his balance. So when you're really young, your balance is great, but at a certain age, it should get better. And I have a friend of mine's 5-year-old comes with her. So we just play games when she comes because she wanted to be part of the whole thing.
Great. I wanted to let people know that you have, if they want to reach out to you, if they can either reach out in Living Well Connections, or they can reach out to your website. It's advancedchironc.com. And I will post that website so people can easily access it. That'd be great. And again, if you're listening to this on a recording, if you're
That's
not in
great.
Living
And
Well
I can also,
Connections,
yeah.
if you're not in Living Well Connections yet, reach out to me, Robin Thomas, and I'll let you in so you can enjoy all the information, all the great information.
And I really look forward to meeting people and talking to them and helping them can.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much. Thank you, those who are watching live. Since we had some technical issues with the video, we're replaying this as a podcast, audio only. You'll be able to listen on YouTube or here in Living Well Connections. Thank you so much.